morning. Thank you for joining me today. This morning we'll be in Joshua chapter 19, verse 1 through chapter 20, verse 9. The second lot belonged to the tribe of Simeon by its clans. Their assigned land included Beersheba, Moladah, Hazar-Shul, Bala, Ezem, Eltalad, Bethel, Hormah, Ziklag, Beth Markaboth, Hazar Susa, Beth Leboath, and Sharahan, a total of 13 cities and their towns, Ain, Rimmon, Ether, and Ashan, a total of 4 cities and their towns, as well as all the towns around these cities, as far as Baalath Beer, Ramah of the Negev. This was the land assigned to the tribe of Simeon by its clans. Simeon's assigned land was taken from Judah's allotted portion, for Judah's territory was too large for them, so Simeon was assigned land within Judah. The third lot belonged to the tribe of Zebulun by its clans. The border of their territory extended to Sarid. Their border went up westward to Marlah and touched Dabasheth in the valley near Jokneam. From Sarid it turned eastward to the territory of Kisloth. Tabor extended to Debereth and went up to Japhia. From there it crossed eastward to Gath-Hefer and Eth-Kazin, and extended to Rimmon, turning toward Neah. It then turned on the north to Hanathon and ended at the valley of Ifta-El. Their territory included Kada, Nalal, Shimron, Idalah, and Bethlehem, and all they had 12 cities and their towns. This was the land assigned to the tribe of Zebulun by its clans, including these cities and their towns. The fourth lot belonged to the tribe of Issachar by its clans. Their assigned land included Jezreel, Kesloth, and Shunem, Hapharaim, Shion, Anaharath, Rabbath, Kishion, Ebez, Remeth, and Ganim, and Hattah, and Beth Pazzez. Their border touched Tabor, Shahazimah, and Beth Shemesh, and ended at the Jordan. They had 16 cities and their towns. This was land assigned to the tribe of Issachar by its clans, including the cities and their towns. The fifth lot belonged to the tribe of Asher by its clans. Their territory included Helkath, Hali, Beton, Akshaph, Alamelech, Amad, and Mishal. Their border touched Carmel to the west and Sihor Libnath. It turned eastward toward Beth Dagon, touched Zebulun in the valley of Ifta-El and to the north, as well as the valley of Emek, Nael, and extended to Kabul on the north, and on to Ebron, Rahab, Hammon, and Kana as far as Greater Sidon. It then turned toward Ramah as far as the fortified city of Tyre, turned to Hosah, and ended at the sea near Hebel, Akseb, Ummah, Aphek, and Rehob. In all, they had 22 cities and their towns. This was the land assigned to the tribe of Asher by its clans, including these cities and their towns. The sixth lot belonged to the tribe of Naphtali by its clans. Their border started at Heleph and the oak of Zananim, went to Adami Nekeb, Jabneel, and on to Lachim, and ended at the Jordan River. It turned westward to Aznoth Tabor, extended from there to Hukok, touched Zebulun on the south, Asher on the west, and the Jordan on the east. The fortified cities included Ziddim, Zur, Hamath, Rakath, Kinnereth, Adamah, Ramah, Hazor, Kedesh, Edrei, and Hazor, Iran, Migdal-El, Horam, Beth Anath, and Beth Shemesh. In all they had 19 cities and their towns. This was the land assigned to the tribe of Naphtali by its clans, including the cities and their towns. The seventh lot belonged to the tribe of Dan by its clans. Their assigned land included Zorah, Eshtaol, Ir-Shemesh, Shalbin, Aijalon, Ithla, Elon, Timnah, Ekron, Eltekah, Gibbethon, Baalath, Jehud, Benaberek, Gath-Rimmon, the waters of Jarkon, and Rakon, including the territory in front of Joppa. The Danites failed to conquer their territory, so they went up and fought with Leshem and captured it. They put the sword to it, took possession of it, and lived in it. They named it Dan after their ancestor. This was land assigned to the tribe of Dan by its clans, including these cities and their towns. When they finished dividing the land into its regions, the Israelites gave Joshua, son of Nun, some land. As the Lord had instructed, they gave him the city he requested, Timnath-Serah, in the Ephraimite hill country. He built up the city and lived in it. These are land assignments which Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the Israelite tribal leaders made by drawing lots in Shiloh before the Lord at the entrance of the tent of meeting. So they finished dividing up the land. The Lord instructed Joshua, have the Israelites select the cities of refuge that I told you about through Moses. Anyone who accidentally kills someone can escape there. These cities will be a place of asylum from the avenger of blood. The one who committed manslaughter should escape to one of these cities, stand at the entrance of the city gate, and present his case to the leaders of that city. They should then bring him into the city, give him a place to stay, and let him live there. When the avenger of blood comes after him, they must not hand over to him the one who committed manslaughter, for he accidentally killed his fellow man without premeditation. He must remain in that city until his case is decided by the assembly and the high priest dies. Then the one who committed manslaughter may return home to the city from which he escaped. So they selected Kadesh in Galilee in the hill country of Naphtali, Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah. Beyond the Jordan, east of Jericho, they selected Bezer in the desert, on the plain belonging to the tribe of Reuben, Ramoth in Gilead belonging to the tribe of Gad, and Golan and Bashan belonging to the tribe of Manasseh. These were the cities of refuge appointed for all the Israelites and for resident foreigners living among them. Anyone who accidentally killed someone could escape there and not be executed by the avenger of blood, at least until his case was reviewed by the assembly. So we had the territory of Simeon, the territory of Zebulun, the territory of Issachar, the territory of Asher, the territory of Naphtali, and the territory of Dan, distributed in this particular chapter. So I guess 6 territories. Thought there was 7. I guess the 7th was Benjamin in the prior chapter. Don't have a whole lot to say on these. It's not... they aren't towns that I'm familiar with, most of them anyway. A few stick out for... because they're mentioned later, like Hebron, for example. So, yeah, I didn't realize before that there were cities of refuge assigned on both sides of the Jordan. That is, there's cities of refuge on the east side of the Jordan. There's cities of refuge on the west side of the Jordan, as well as on the east side. So, yeah, that's about all I've got. So, carrying on, Luke chapter 19, verses 28 through 48. After Jesus had said this, he continued on ahead, going up to Jerusalem. Now, when he approached Bethphage and Bethany, at the place called the Mount of Olives, he sent 2 of the disciples, telling them, "Go to the village ahead of you. When you enter it, you will find a colt tied there that has never been ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asks you, 'Why are you untying it?' just say, 'The Lord needs it.'" So those who were sent ahead found it exactly as he had told them. As they were untying the colt, its owner asked them, "Why are you untying the colt?" They replied, "The Lord needs it." Then they brought it to Jesus, threw their cloaks on the colt, and had Jesus get on it. As he rode along, they spread their cloaks on the road. As he approached the road leading down from the Mount of Olives, the whole crowd of his disciples began to rejoice and praise God with a loud voice for all the mighty works they had seen. "Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven, and glory in the highest." But some of the Pharisees in the crowd said to him, "Teacher, rebuke your disciples." He answered, "I tell you, if they keep silent, the very stones will cry out." Now when Jesus approached and saw the city, he wept over it, saying, "If you had only known on this day, even you, the things that make for peace, but now they are hidden from your eyes. But the days will come upon you when your enemies will build an embankment against you, and surround you and close in on you from every side. They will demolish you, you and your children within your walls, and they will not leave within you one stone on top of another, because you did not recognize the time of your visitation from God." Then Jesus entered the temple courts and began to drive out those who were selling things there, saying to them, "It is written, 'My house will be a house of prayer,' but you have turned it into a den of robbers." Jesus was teaching daily in the temple courts. The chief priests and the experts in the law and the prominent leaders among the people were seeking to assassinate him, but they could not find a way to do it, for all the people hung on his words. Yeah, so you have here Jesus and his triumphant entry of Jerusalem. The disciples in front of him are saying, "Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest." And the Pharisees don't like it. They're saying, "Teacher, rebuke your disciples." I'm just thinking of this, and like the common Muslim complaint is that, "Oh, where does Jesus say, 'I am God, worship me'?" Um, you have things like this where Jesus is weeping over the city, and in 44 it says that Jerusalem, "They will not leave within you one stone on top of another, because you did not recognize the time of your visitation from God." I mean, yeah. I guess the word God isn't in the Greek there, but yeah. The NET makes it clear. But this is all a lot of if Jesus were just a man, it's more ado about this man than should be. So, yeah. Also, in 46, it is written, "My house will be a house of prayer, but you have turned it into a den of robbers." Jesus is also calling the temple his house. So, okay, carrying on. Psalm chapter 88, verses 1 through 18. "O Lord God, who delivers me, by day I cry out, and at night I pray before you. Listen to my prayer, pay attention to my cry for help, for my life is filled with troubles, and I am ready to enter Sheol. They treat me like those who descend into the grave. I'm like a helpless man, adrift among the dead, like corpses lying in the grave, whom you remember no more, and who are cut off from your power. You place me in the lowest region of the pit, in the dark places, in the watery depths. Your anger bears down on me, and you overwhelm me with all your waves. Selah. You cause those who know me to keep their distance. You make me an appalling sight to them. I'm trapped and cannot get free. My eyes grow weak because of oppression. I call out to you, O Lord, all day long. I spread out my hands in prayer to you. Do you accomplish amazing things for the dead? Do the departed spirits rise up and give you thanks? Selah. Is your loyal love proclaimed in the grave, or your faithfulness in the place of the dead? Are your amazing deeds experienced in the dark region, or your deliverance in the land of oblivion? As for me, I cry out to you, O Lord. In the morning my prayer confronts you. O Lord, why do you reject me and pay no attention to me? I am oppressed and have been on the verge of death since my youth. I have been subjected to your horrors and am numb with pain. Your anger overwhelms me. Your terror destroys me. They surround me like water all day long. They join forces and encircle me. You cause my friends and neighbors to keep their distance. Those who know me leave me alone in the darkness. Yeah. This feels like it could have been written by Job. It's a prayer and petition to be saved from death. And finally, Proverbs chapter 13, verses 12 through 14. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is like a tree of life. The one who despises instruction will pay the penalty, but whoever esteems instruction will be rewarded. Instruction from the wise is like a life-giving fountain to turn a person from deadly snares. Interesting. The one who despises instruction will pay the penalty. There's a reason that the instruction is being given, and if you carry on, then you'll pay the penalty. It's not as though the bridge is out sign is there for no reason. If you keep going, your car will end up in the river. So, okay, well, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have a good day. Bye.